Tao is a Chinese word signifying path, road, or way. In the context of East Asian philosophy and religion, the Tao is not a name for a thing, but the underlying natural order of the universe. It cannot be grasped as a concept and is therefore eternally nameless. In Taoism, the object of spiritual practice is to harmonize one's will with nature, or become one with the Tao. This involves meditative and moral practices in order to achieve effortless action.
I remember once I was looking in the open air and one of those glorious little thistledown things came, and I picked it up like that and brought it down, and it looked as if it was struggling to get away, just as if you caught an insect by one leg, like a daddy long legs or something of that kind. It seemed to be struggling to get away, and I thought, well, it's not doing that. That's just the wind blowing. But then I thought again, really? Only the wind blowing? Surely it is the structure of this thing which, in cooperation with the existence of wind, enables it to move like an animal, but using the wind's effort, not its own. It is more intelligent being than an insect, in a way, because an insect uses effort. Like a person who rows a boat uses effort, but the man who puts up a sail is using magic. He lets nature do it for him with the intelligence to use a sail, you see? Now that is the most highly skillful art of all. That is Taoism in perfection.
A central tenet in most varieties of Taoism is that the Tao is ever present, but must be manifested, cultivated, and or perfected in order to be realized. There is no exterior deity to be worshipped. So what are some of the ancient Taoist techniques that one can perform in order to work with nature, to work with one's own biology, in order to effortlessly gain physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual vitality? Let us listen to Grandmaster Mantak Chia, an expert in Taoist philosophy and one of the few, if not the first, to publicly disclose detailed instructions with the West, which for many millennia were guarded secrets used exclusively by emperors, high priests, pharaohs, and other nobility and elite.
One of the Tao practice involved with the inner alchemy, we call the sexual inner alchemy practice. And most people know about sexual energy because we come from sex. And the whole life that we involved with sex, or loving sex. So the Tao practice divides into few sections of practice we call a physical part. I mean, how to strengthening the sexual organ. And the energy part is how the sexual organ transforms to be a sexual energy. And how the sexual energy transforms into Qi. And finally, how the sexual energy transforms into Qi and transforms into the spiritual energy to feed the soul and spirit. Because the whole thing about the Tao sexual practice is sexual energy is the only most powerful energy that can transform it and feed into the soul and spirit. Sometimes we call them baby food formula. So without the sexual energy transform it, you cannot raise the soul and spirit. So we always look at the soul and spirit like an infant. When it comes to us, like a baby, like a child. And if people don't grow them, they will remain like a child. And when people with no purpose come to this life, when they left, the soul never grow, never educated, so they will end up with living the world like a child. So the Tao practice is very simple, that first know your sexual energy and strengthening them, because the soul and spirit come to this world the only that because we have a physical. The physical can producing energy, we call chi, and the sexual organ is a material we call the organ, sexual organ like material, but one of these you can transform the sexual organ into sexual energy, and that's the immaterial. So with the immaterial is the link between the soul and the spirit. So when with no chi, no sexual energy, the soul and spirit have no link. So now they have link to the soul and spirit, and they're feeding them. So in the Tao practice, there are many exercises, a very important exercise. So the whole thing is you have to know that material can change to immaterial. So in a normal way of thinking is that when the sexual organ producing sperm and egg, so it becomes material. Material producing material. So what we can do? We cannot do anything. All we have to do is drain them out or dump them out. So man is ejaculation out. Woman turn to be menstruation and lose a lot of blood through it. So in the Tao said, if we don't understand how to practice that, we are keep on losing our sexual energy every day. Okay? And this is the biggest waste in our life. Why? Because sexual energy is the most important for, number one, have the healing power. Why? Because sexual energy creating us. So sexual energy, we're regarding them as a commander on the top. It commanding the embryo cells. It commanding the stem cell. And we know the stem cell creating can repair anything we want. So without the sexual energy, the stem cell don't work, because they have to receive the commander on the top to keep them in order, plus the melatonin at night together, they get the order and they do the job. Cells have to be listen to the order. If they don't get the order, they don't know what to do. So that's why the strengthening the sexual organ is very important. And the simple practice is creating the fire. So men like fire and women like water. So in the Tao practice we said women, so they are reverse the process. Women should have many orgasm and ejaculations. Okay. Men, because it's water and fluid, and woman producing egg in once a month. The man can producing a lot of sperm every day ejaculation now. So it's taking a lot of energy. So we only know that the monk, the nun, the priest, they have to conserve the sexual energy, because they want to convert this energy into the spiritual energy connecting to God. So without the sexual energy, there's no link to connect. But if you don't strengthening your sexual organs, you also have no enough energy to transform it into a higher. So the sexual energy can use for healing. The sexual energy can use for strengthening. The sexual energy can use for creating power. So a lot of like performance, the sport people, they have to really learn how to conserve their sexual energy. So all the football team, when in the spring training, they cannot take a girlfriend into the camp, and also training also, because they need to conserve their sexual energy in order to transform to strength and power. So that's why, so the simple part of the Tao practice is how can you separate orgasm and ejaculation out. So that is the man have to be really learn how to. So a simple thing is the mind power and the muscle control. So the one exercise that the man can really strengthening immediately is so simple. It's tightening your buttock And I think that is, I don't know, the English invent that word or not, we call tightening your ass. Okay? I don't know that. But in the Tao practice, when you're strengthening your buttock, tightening up, and tightening up, that means if you tighten this one 100 times a day, that's it, 100 times a day. And in a few, if you're doing a few months, a few weeks, you started to learn how to control ejaculation. So why the men need to control ejaculation? Because you don't have the ejaculation every time. That's the most important part. And so there are a timetable, how old you are, how many times you should be ejaculation a week. And later on, between the age you go up. So you can have, if you enjoy life, enjoy sex, enjoy love, because loving energy and orgasm energy is the one that make the cell split, make the DNA split. So they have to study that DNA renewal need orgasm and love. That's why we have love. When we feel love and feel orgasm, they say when we make love, the DNA also make love and split. The DNA renewal happen every second. When it slow down, we get old. When it slow down, we get sick. And when it don't split anymore, we finish. But the process is always depending on the orgasm and love. So when we make love, the DNA also make love. And it split and you get a new cells. That's why when you're practicing love and feel the arousal orgasm, you have more energy. Jing. So in the Tao Chinese we say Jing Qi means the sexual energy. But the sexual energy comes from the sexual organ, the sperm and egg. If we dump them all out, we don't have that energy. So that's why in the sexual practice we always talk about a different way of orgasm for women. So you have the clitoris ejaculation, you have the G-spot, or we call secret spot, and you have the uterus orgasm. The uterus orgasm now more and more, but the Taoism they know it many thousand years. But now the West discovered that uterus orgasm is very important, but it's very difficult because you have to understand the anatomy in order to get the uterus orgasm for women. Because if you don't activate the clitoris enough, and you don't activate the secret spot enough, the uterus spot back on the epicenter will not open. So all the women, we call women very mysterious. So all the secret spot is hiding. So it's not there until you get it ready and the lady not open. So that's why the uterus, the lady can train how to contract it. Okay. So in this one, a famous exercise in the Tao we call the D exercise. So you massage the breast and you contract the perineum anus, and you think the uterus contracting, because that's how when the lady get orgasm, the uterus contract and release, contract and release. Men also, when you massage testicle and you do the tightening this, you have a lot of chi come back. So you have more fire. So making love in man and woman we call water and fire. So if we have, when men have lesser fire and women have icy cold vagina, so if you try to boil a water, it takes a long time to boil with a very little fire and very cold water. So if you make the breast warm, the uterus have chi. When man and woman make love, you have more energy. Otherwise, it becomes too cold, and eventually you lost interest. And so that's why the man and woman lost interest, because men have lesser fire, and women, all the sexual organ become too cold. So when you learn how to massage and exercise them, you have more chi in the sexual organ.
Okay. Could you explain the difference for men between orgasm and ejaculation?
Yes, this is very important, because Usually we don't experience that. We don't know. So when we get very close, very good, very highly arousal, orgasm, very highly orgasm, and you want more. But there are no more. Okay, so we call a very genital orgasm, very short and very limited. So the orgasm right here, and it's go to ejaculation. So we experience orgasm, and you want more orgasm, then no more. Okay, so it jump right into the orgasm. So now, when you learn very simple, when you feel very highly arousal, when you feel very highly orgasm, you stop for a moment, feel it. Okay? So sometimes we said you go up to be 90, 95, 94, 96, 97%, you think, I get close. So if you never train it, you go so close and ejaculation finish. Okay? So men, when ejaculation, we said, you dump out all your sperm out, and the body need to build up, and the sperm is the essence. So the Chinese write the sperm means jing, the life essence. And how important is the life essence? Because it builds a whole human. And how important? It's very smart human come out from this sperm and egg. So it's very important. So man build up about what we say 50 million, 100 million. If you're young and healthy, can be 150 million sperm. It's a lot. So there's a lot of energy into it. Now, in the moment of ejaculation, if you rest and you can feel that orgasm started to expand. Okay? So, but if you train the prostate gland and you train the buttock contracting, you started to have the idea to control it. And the mind power is the most important part. So the Tao said if you one time stop ejaculations, your mind power double increasing. That's how much power you get. If it's 2 times, so in the list that we're talking about, 1 time, what benefit to you? 2 times, 3 times. So the 10 time, you're talking about, they said when you can hold and not ejaculation, make love and not ejaculation, you can talk to God. That's what the priests, they discovered that. So when they have sex with their wife, before that the priest can marry, and they discover when they have sex, God don't want to talk to them. Next day you go to the temple, God don't want to talk to you. So they become a rule. When the priests have sex, they have to stay away from the temple 1 week, because they cannot go into the temple anymore. So later on they say, okay, if I want to talk to God every day, I don't marry better. So they become no marry, because when they don't lose sexual energy, they can talk to God all the time. So that's why ejaculation and orgasm, you have to split them out. And it's not difficult. If only that when you get closer, in the beginning, it's a little bit difficult, because in the olden time, when you get closer, you faster, so fast, ejaculation finish. And you get tired, exhausted, turn over, thank you honey, and go to sleep. You know? But you lose a lot of energy that way. Now, extended orgasm, because as we talk about orgasm and love, is the very important part to make the cell split. That's all. So if the normal very fast orgasm very fast have sex and ejaculation, you don't spend enough time to build up your orgasm. So we call a genital orgasm. Very short. And you say, oh my God, I want more. It's no more. And every time you go on ejaculation, you have lesser orgasm, because you don't have no more. You drain them all out and you have no more. But when the first time you hold, there's a lot of process you need to know, because when you hold up the ejaculation, you have too much energy back, and you have to crazy. You have to crazy because too much energy. So when I make love, I have so much energy, and I cannot sleep. The only one way, get up and write book. So I write 40 books now. And now we're publishing with the inner tradition 38, 28 book, and there's more. So it gives you a lot of creating power and a lot of energy to do things. That's how so not difficult. When you get close to ejaculation, you think, hey, I'm going to come. I'm going to ejaculation. You rest, lightly contract the prostaglandin and you rest. That's it. Now, when you rest, you started to feel that orgasm expanding, but not ejaculation. You see, and when you get control, you go on again. So your orgasm expanding more, but you also get dangerous to close to ejaculation. So the Tao text they call, don't go beyond of the point of no return. That's very important. When you go to the point of no return, your ejaculation, that's it. You start over again next time. So when you practice for a while, you feel the length, the gap between the orgasm and ejaculation is bigger. And the orgasm get higher beyond you have orgasm before. So from here, ejaculation, but now when you lengthen this one out, this orgasm come up. So the Tao separate them to kidney orgasm, liver orgasm, heart orgasm, lung orgasm, brain orgasm. It's really feel the orgasm come up to the brain and it's opening you up. So you have expanding orgasm rather than limited orgasm. So the orgasm before is what? A few seconds. You feel good, and finish. But in this way, your orgasm bigger, wider, and then multiply. So we call a total body orgasm. And later on, you go to what we call by cosmic orgasm. You expand your orgasm to the universe. And that's what the whole universe is, the energy, sexual energy come together, creating the whole universe. Okay, that's what you learn. One, you not difficult. One, you have to be talk to your partner, and when you stop for a moment, and you get control, and you feel the orgasm expand. That's all. And you train from that gap, expand. And now their timing. If you do in the beginning, you do 2 or 3 times non-ejaculation. Up to 4 or 5 times is too much energy. You ejaculation. So in the Tao practice, they have few theory. Okay, but monk or nun, no ejaculation, no, and try to have no sex. That is why they want to conserve and transform sexual energy. But in the Tao way, I like it because if everybody become monk, maybe you can control the population easier. Okay. So try it out. So amazing, simple, but it's so amazing practice. And you don't believe it. If you're looking for more energy, this is the energy that you're gonna get. You don't get any extra energy from anywhere. Believe me. The sexual energy is the extra energy that you have. Okay. Sexual energy you need to transform every day.
Every day. Now going back to separating ejaculation from orgasm, if, let's say with your partner, you're spending time, you've got a multi-orgasmic experience, right?
Yes.
Should you still ejaculate at the end or no?
Depending on the people, okay? There are certain timing. For example,
yes, you said frequency for different ages.
Yes, frequency. Like for the example, the younger people, we said they can ejaculation maybe about 4 or 6 days a week.
I see.
It's the 30 years old. You multiply them, so it's about 1 or 2 weeks.
So you should only ejaculate if you're 40 years old, only every week or every 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you can still engage in sexual intercourse, but try and prevent ejaculation.
Yeah. Don't have to ejaculate every time.
Yes.
And try to have extended orgasm.
Yes, even when you ejaculate.
Right. So if you have extended orgasm many times, you harvest all the sexual energy back. And when you ejaculation, you lose much lesser energy than a normal way. It's just like the sperm producing egg. The sperm producing the energy.
Energy.
So when the sperm producing energy and you stop and you harvest them, and you rest, you exchange energy, hugging, and chain energy. When you go to one level, when you feel that you get in control, you go again. You go again, and you started to have, when you feel orgasm, and you extend it and multiply it, and you bring them up. It's just like the chicken. You don't kill them; they lay egg for you every day. The hen, okay. But if you eat the hen, tomorrow you have no more egg.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about food? Are you a vegetarian? Do you eat meat or what?
I'm not vegetarian,
Okay.
and I eat mostly like in the Tao Garden. We said, okay, we like to have mostly like chicken, a smaller animal, and the fish.
Why
and
smaller?
shrimp.
Why smaller animal?
Because we believe that when the bigger animal, they have more, like cow, they have more chakras, like human, and they have one important chakras we call fear. Fear chakras, fear energy.
Yes.
That is the lower center. Okay, there are a lot of fear, and when in the moment of death, they're creating a lot of fear hormone,
It's bad.
and it's
unhealthy.
bad for the thing. But the smaller one, they don't creating that much.
It's interesting.
And the fish, they don't have the fear chakras. The smaller animal, and like fish, they don't have energy center that much. They have only 3, and they have no fear chakras, the fear center. So when they have no fear center, they don't accumulate a lot of, we call fear toxicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, big animal like cow. When you kill them, they cry a lot. Yeah,
Sure.
and they really cry. They know that they're gonna die, but they don't know what to
awful,
do.
yeah.
And they just so during their fear, they're creating a lot of toxic, and they're big, and they can creating a lot of impact in the body.
Aging. What do you think are the major factors of aging? Obviously, sleeping is important in terms of rejuvenation.
Aging is number 1, excess ejaculation. Number 2 is not sleep enough so the body cannot repair, and not enough hormone. Sexual hormone is the one that rebuild the body together with the melatonin and sexual hormone, and give a command to the sex cell to the stem cell to repair it.
Do you really think that too much ejaculation can cause increased accelerated aging?
Yeah, that is the major one. So if you hold the ejaculation for lesser ejaculation, immediately you get longer life.
But is there another extreme? If you don't ejaculate at all, it's also unhealthy, right? So
You have to transform it.
you have to transform
Yeah.
it. So that's
the
key.
monk and nun, they don't live long
No.
because they have no sex.
Right. So you have to still there's a frequency that you're saying for every age.
Yes.
It's the correct balance
Right.
for the amount of ejaculating that you should do, and by sticking to that frequency.
Like they said, like I remember, well, after 60, you should be no ejaculation, or you're healthy like me, once a month. That's good.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you still can have sex every day if you want.
My name is Robert Sepehr. I'm an anthropologist. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please take a look at my published work on Amazon.com. Don't forget to comment, and I will see you again soon.